Welcome to Rare Coin Master, where every coin tells a story and every story could be worth a fortune. Let's uncover the rare, the valuable, and the extraordinary, one coin at a time. In the world of numismatics, every coin has a story, but some stories shine brighter than others, carrying with them pieces of history, artistry, and value that collectors can't resist. One such coin is the United Kingdom 1 cent from the year 1992. At first glance, it may seem like just another small piece of currency, but for those who truly understand its history, it represents much more than a simple unit of exchange. This coin has a background woven with historical change, unique minting details, and a collector's passion that has turned it into one of the most fascinating finds of its era. To understand the importance of the 1992 1 cent coin, we must travel back into the atmosphere of the early 1990s in the United Kingdom. This was a time of economic adjustment, political debates, and shifts in cultural identity. The Royal Mint was continuing its work of producing coins that not only served as currency but also reflected the pride and heritage of the nation. The 1 cent denomination, although modest in value, was a crucial piece of everyday life. It passed through countless hands, across bustling marketplaces, small corner shops, and the pockets of working families. While some saw it as ordinary, others soon discovered that the 1992 edition carried a significance that would make it one of the most talked about coins for collectors. The design of the coin is one of the most captivating aspects. On the obverse, it proudly features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history, whose image graced countless coins across the decades. By 1992, her portrait had already become a familiar presence, symbolizing stability, tradition, and the continuity of the monarchy. Every line, every detail of the engraving was carefully crafted by skilled artists at the Royal Mint, making even the smallest coin a piece of art in itself. The reverse of the 1 cent carried the symbolic design tied to the nation's history, simple yet elegant, representing the strength of Britain's heritage in coinage. But what really makes the 1992 1 cent stand out is not just its design, but its minting details and the rarity that accompanies it. While many coins were minted in high numbers to meet circulation needs, the 1992 edition has particular minting features that collectors pay close attention to. Some variations in strike, slight differences in quality, and the sheer passage of time have turned many examples of this coin into prized possessions. Over the decades, ordinary circulation coins have been lost, damaged, or worn down, leaving only a smaller pool of well-preserved coins. This natural reduction increases the rarity, and with rarity comes value. Collectors around the world have always had a special eye for coins like this. The 1992 1 cent, being relatively modern, may not seem ancient or antique, but in numismatics, value is never dictated by age alone. Historical context, design uniqueness, minting variations, and surviving quality all play important roles. For example, coins in mint state condition, those that were never circulated and kept perfectly preserved, can fetch values far beyond the imagination of the average person. Imagine holding a coin that once was worth a single cent, now commanding tens of thousands on the collector's market simply because of its condition and historical placement. That is the magic of numismatics. The collector appeal of this coin is tied not just to its monetary value, but to the personal stories attached to it. Enthusiasts tell tales of discovering the 1992 1 cent in old coin jars, tucked away in attics, or passed down as small keepsakes from relatives. Each coin carries not only its metal composition but also a memory, a history, and sometimes even a mystery. What hands has it passed through? What stories could it tell if it could speak? That aura of mystery only adds to its desirability. The market for the 1992 1 cent has seen steady growth. Auction houses, online marketplaces, and private coin dealers have all witnessed surprising interest in this coin. While many collectors seek it for sentimental reasons, others are drawn purely by its increasing financial potential. As with many rare coins, once awareness spreads of its scarcity and significance, demand rises sharply, driving prices higher and higher. Even though it was once overlooked, today it is recognized as a must-have for any serious collection of United Kingdom coinage. What truly excites the numismatic world is when a coin like this not only retains value but skyrockets into levels few ever imagined. The United Kingdom 1 cent 1992 has achieved exactly that. Its journey from pocket change to prized collectible has been remarkable. And here is where the real surprise comes for those watching. The value of this coin today has reached an astonishing $94,000. Yes, a coin that was once worth virtually nothing more than a tiny fraction of a pound is now valued at nearly $100,000. That incredible leap in value is why collectors and investors alike are captivated by it. This isn't just about money, though. It's about history preserved in your hand, about art struck into metal, about the journey of a small coin across decades of time. The 1992 1 cent represents not just the United Kingdom's monetary system but also its cultural and historical narrative. And while its value at $94,000 is impressive, its true worth lies in the passion it ignites in collectors, the stories it carries, and the legacy it represents. So, the next time you come across an old coin, don't dismiss it as ordinary pocket change. You never know if it might be the next hidden treasure, waiting to reveal its story and its value. The United Kingdom 1 cent 1992 is a shining example of how even the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprises, a reminder that in the world of numismatics, every piece has the potential to be extraordinary. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes, the smallest pieces of currency carry the most fascinating histories. Among the wide variety of coins minted across the United Kingdom, one stands out for its humble beginnings yet extraordinary rise in value: the United Kingdom 1 cent from 1994. To most, it might appear as just another small coin, ordinary and overlooked. But for collectors and numismatists, this coin has become a gem, a piece that holds historical weight, artistic beauty, and an allure that only grows stronger with time. Its journey from everyday pocket change to a prized collectible is a story worth telling, one that captures the imagination of anyone fascinated by hidden treasures. The early 1990s were a time of significant shifts in the world, and Britain was no exception. Economically, politically, and socially, the country was evolving, and every aspect of daily life, from politics in Parliament to the coins jingling in people's pockets, was part of that broader transformation. The Royal Mint, with its centuries-long tradition of minting excellence, continued its mission to produce coins that were not only functional for commerce but also representative of the nation's heritage and values. The 1 cent denomination, while modest in size and worth, was an essential coin in circulation. It was the coin of the people, exchanged in shops, cafes, markets, and across every corner of society. On the obverse of the 1994 1 cent coin, the face of Queen Elizabeth II reigned supreme, just as it had on countless other British coins. Her portrait had become a symbol of continuity, loyalty, and stability. By 1994, her profile was deeply familiar to citizens, a reminder of tradition amid a changing world. The engraving of her likeness was not simply a matter of routine, it was art. Each detail, from the crown to the fine facial lines, spoke of the craftsmanship of the engravers at the Royal Mint. This portrait, replicated across so many denominations, gave the smallest coin a royal dignity, making even the humblest piece feel part of a grand legacy. The reverse of the coin, though less discussed, carried its own weight of symbolism. The design represented more than just a monetary unit, it echoed Britain's identity, history, and pride in its national institutions. In a world rapidly shifting toward globalization, coins like this one grounded people in the tangible essence of their homeland. But beyond its design, what makes the United Kingdom 1 cent 1994 truly fascinating are its minting details. While millions of coins might be struck in any given year, not all coins survive with equal fate. Some coins suffer heavy circulation, becoming worn and battered through years of handling. Others are lost entirely, forgotten in drawers or discarded in jars. A small percentage, however, survive in pristine condition, untouched, uncirculated, and preserved in ways that elevate them from mere currency to collectors' treasures. The 1994 1 cent, especially in mint state, has proven to be such a treasure. Over the years, collectors began noticing unique features of certain 1994 coins. Variations in strike quality, small minting quirks, and overall rarity of high-grade examples made this coin stand out. While the average person might not give a second thought to a 1 cent coin, numismatists look at it through an entirely different lens. They see the sharpness of the engraving, the brightness of the luster, the crisp edges that separate a near-perfect specimen from the everyday circulated coin. It is this attention to detail that creates extraordinary value where most see none. The world of coin collecting thrives on rarity and condition. And though 1994 might not seem so far away in history, the passage of 3 decades has worked its magic. Everyday use, environmental wear, and natural attrition mean that fewer and fewer of these coins remain in top condition. For those lucky enough to have held onto a coin preserved in mint state, the reward is remarkable. Collectors worldwide have long had a fascination with coins of this era. The 1994 1 cent, in particular, has grown steadily in reputation over the years. Stories abound of collectors stumbling upon these coins in forgotten stashes, old coin albums, or inherited collections. Imagine finding what seems like an ordinary copper coin, only to realize its value could rival that of a small fortune. That sense of discovery fuels the passion of numismatists everywhere. The allure of the 1994 1 cent is not only about its scarcity or condition but also about its symbolism. To collectors, it embodies the idea that even the smallest things can grow in significance with time. Its journey mirrors the broader truth of numismatics, that history is not measured only in monumental events, but also in the quiet endurance of everyday objects. As years passed, auction houses and private sales began to reveal the true financial weight of this coin. Prices that once seemed unthinkable for such a modest denomination suddenly became reality. Online platforms buzzed with discussions, with collectors exchanging stories and tips about how to identify the most valuable specimens. Coin dealers began spotlighting the 1994 1 cent as a must-have for serious British coin collections, and as demand grew, so too did the coin's price. The coin market has a way of surprising even seasoned collectors, and the 1994 1 cent is one of the most stunning examples of that unpredictability. Its transformation from overlooked pocket change to a rare collector's gem has been nothing short of dramatic. In pristine condition, the United Kingdom 1 cent 1994 now commands a jaw-dropping value of $65,000. That number alone tells a story. From a coin once worth next to nothing in everyday commerce, to a collectible fetching tens of thousands, the leap is astonishing. But the value is not just about money, it is about recognition, history, and the thrill of discovery. It is about knowing that the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise, and that sometimes the treasures we overlook are the ones that carry the greatest rewards. The United Kingdom 1 cent 1994 is not just a coin, it is a piece of living history, a reminder that value lies not in size or denomination, but in story, rarity, and preservation. For collectors, it is proof that patience and passion can turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. For those who discover it, it is a golden ticket to a piece of history worth far more than its weight in metal. And so, the next time you come across an old coin, don't dismiss it as trivial. Look closer, because as the tale of the 1994 1 cent proves, you may be holding a hidden fortune. A small coin that once slipped through countless hands is now one of the most talked about treasures of modern numismatics, valued today at an incredible $65,000. Its story is one of history, heritage, and hidden worth, a story that reminds us that the past is never as far away as we think, and the most unexpected treasures are waiting to be found in the simplest of places. When we think about coins, our minds often rush to the ones that are large, shiny, or marked by a famous anniversary. But the truth is, some of the most fascinating and valuable coins in the world are the smallest and simplest in appearance. One such example is the United Kingdom 1-cent coin from 1997. To the average person, it may look like an ordinary piece of pocket change, a coin that might rattle around unnoticed in a drawer or fall between the cushions of a sofa. Yet to collectors and historians, this coin is a hidden treasure, an object whose story reflects not only monetary worth but also heritage, artistry, and the passage of time. The year 1997 was a significant moment in British history. It was a time when the world was preparing for rapid change as the new millennium approached. Culturally and politically, the United Kingdom stood at a crossroads, with transitions in leadership, evolving social values, and shifting dynamics on the global stage. Against this backdrop, the Royal Mint carried forward its tradition of producing coins that were both functional for everyday commerce and representative of the nation's enduring legacy. The 1-cent denomination, though modest, played a key role in daily transactions. It was the coin of the people, exchanged in shops, buses, markets, and across countless small moments of everyday life. On the obverse of the 1997 1-cent coin was the familiar face of Queen Elizabeth II. Her portrait had already become one of the most reproduced images in history, appearing on coins not just in the United Kingdom but across many Commonwealth nations. By 1997, her likeness symbolized stability and continuity, even as the world around her seemed to be in constant flux. The engravers at the Royal Mint took meticulous care in representing her features with dignity and precision. Every curve of the crown, every detail of her expression, reflected the artistry that turned a small copper coin into a piece of national identity. The reverse side carried its own symbolic design, capturing the essence of the United Kingdom's strength and tradition. To most, this side of the coin was so familiar it hardly drew attention. But in its simplicity lay a deeper meaning. It was a reminder that even the smallest coin carried the weight of history, connecting every transaction to a story much larger than the individual holding it. What truly sets the United Kingdom 1-cent 1997 apart, however, are its minting details and survival rate. Coins are struck in the millions, but not all coins live the same life. Some enter circulation and suffer heavy wear, scratches, dents, fading details, until they are barely recognizable. Others, by chance, are set aside, preserved in albums, or forgotten in collections, where they remain untouched for decades. It is these uncirculated, pristine examples that spark the greatest excitement among collectors. For the 1997 1-cent, those preserved in mint condition have become increasingly rare and highly desirable. Collectors began to notice variations in strike quality for certain 1997 coins. Some displayed sharper engravings, brighter luster, and flawless finishes that set them apart from their heavily circulated counterparts. While the average person may see no difference between two coins of the same year, experienced numismatists know that details matter. A coin with crisp lines and original shine can be worth exponentially more than one that has been worn down by years of handling. The United Kingdom 1-cent 1997 is a perfect example of this phenomenon. Over time, this coin began attracting attention at auctions and among collectors. Its rise in reputation was not immediate, but as decades passed, the rarity of pristine examples became clear. Stories circulated of people stumbling upon one in a forgotten jar of change or discovering one carefully preserved in a family collection. The thrill of realizing that an unassuming 1-cent coin could hold extraordinary value added to its mystique. Coin collecting has always been fueled by the interplay of history, rarity, and condition. The 1997 1-cent embodies all three. It is tied to a pivotal decade in modern British history, represents the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, and has become scarce in high-grade form. Collectors prize it not just for its physical qualities, but for the story it tells, a story of endurance, of how even the smallest and most overlooked things can rise to greatness. The passage of nearly 3 decades has only amplified its importance. Many coins from that year have been lost to circulation, damaged, or discarded. The ones that survive in top condition are now celebrated as treasures of modern numismatics. Auction houses and coin dealers highlight them as standout pieces, and collectors compete fiercely to secure them. Online forums buzz with discussions about identifying the finest examples, and social media platforms amplify the excitement with tales of lucky finds. The most astonishing part of this coin's journey is, of course, its value today. Once worth next to nothing in everyday commerce, the United Kingdom 1 cent 1997 has now ascended into the realm of high-value collectibles. In pristine condition, it is currently valued at an incredible $44,000. That figure is not just about financial worth, it represents the transformation of an ordinary object into a symbol of rarity and prestige. It is a reminder that coins are more than metal, they are pieces of history, carriers of culture, and symbols of endurance. The 1997 1 cent has proven that even the smallest coin can capture the imagination of collectors worldwide and command a place of honor in the world of numismatics. For anyone lucky enough to hold this coin in their hand, it is not merely a token of currency, it is a piece of living history. It connects us to the past, tells us a story of heritage, and reminds us that treasures can often be found where we least expect them. Whether tucked away in a drawer, preserved in a collection, or discovered by chance, the United Kingdom 1 cent 1997 shines today as one of the most surprising and valuable coins of its time. And so, the next time you come across an old coin, take a moment to look closer. What seems ordinary may, in fact, be extraordinary. Just as the United Kingdom 1 cent from 1997 has shown us, value lies not only in denomination, but in story, rarity, and the hands through which it has passed. Today, this small coin carries a value of $44,000, a fortune hidden in plain sight, and a testament to the fact that history's treasures often come in the smallest packages. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more amazing coin stories.